But it's fun, it's funky, and we're probably one of the only Christmas museums in this part of the country. So we're very fortunate to have this in Brevard. We have the second largest public collection of aluminum Christmas trees in the country. We honor the years the trees were made, 50s, 60s, and 70s. So we do a cycle. This is the 70s. Next year we'll go back to the 50s.
It's evolved. It went from kind of funny and tacky into a more classic nostalgic look into the past, and it's been very popular. It is popular every year. Mostly people come in here and they reminisce. Some folks remember shiny brights, they remember their grandparents' trees. So it's a place where you can come and connect with your past and share memories.
And they say things like, I have that, my grandmother had that, and that we really enjoy. But I think when they get into this room and they see how it sparkles, I think that's what we really find that they really love, is that it's just so pretty. The lights and everything make it just really sparkle.
It was like a splash in the pan, but you're coming right off of the moon landing. And if you look at architecture, that also is cleaning up, and you're getting a lot of aluminum siding. Everybody was trying to be streamlined. So this tree really went along with that, seizing the moment. So it's very popular for that reason. And of course, it's exactly the reason that it became unpopular in 1965 with Charlie Brown, when he talked about it being commercialized Christmas. So that is kind of where it started petering off, and the sales started petering off, even though they manufactured through the 70s. So now it's back because it's retro, mid-century modern.
But this tree is probably the only time you're going to see, or very rarely see, a tree that's in pristine condition for the age of the tree. And it's got maybe 3 places that are not perfect.
These branches are very delicate, and so you couldn't put lights on them. Plus, if you've ever remembered the old Christmas lights, they got quite hot. So it would have been a very big fire hazard. So they did the color wheel, which rotates and shows different colors, so that you could have that sparkle off of your aluminum trees to add a little color.
We're currently in the Shiny Bright Forest. We have a collection of over 400 Shiny Brights. And these were ornaments made in the 40s, 50s, and 60s by a man by the name of Max Eckert. And these are ornaments that your grandparents may have had. And they're perfect. Along with the satin ornaments, they're great for the aluminum trees. They're lightweight and they sparkle. This particular tree, we just found out, is called 4-Foot Fairyland Icy Blue. And from one of the big collectors of trees, this tree is considered a unicorn. Very hard to find and therefore quite pricey. It doesn't look like much, but because it's color and it's the certain manufacturer, this is a true collector's item. So we always honor the Military Museum with one of our special trees, and that's a blue tree. So that one's always out in front and foremost. Sometimes we can help people with information. We explain how to clean the trees, how to take care of them. We tell them not to clean their shiny brights. We show them how they should store their trees. And those are part of being sort of a service to the community, and the fact that we're a history museum and we support the museum throughout the year. So we like to make sure that we give everybody as much information that we can as they come through. You pack them away in paper sleeves. Each limb goes in a paper sleeve if you're lucky enough to own them. So you need to make sure you put them in the right direction. So taking good care of the tree will make it last longer. And all of those things, the correct stand, the paper sleeves, and the original box all add to the value of whatever tree it is that you have. And we've been so fortunate that we've had people donate trees and some of their Shiny Bright collections. And we appreciate everybody's donation. Sometimes family members just decide these are not for them. This is how the museum doors and lights, the lights stay on and the doors stay open. We are a history museum, so from April through October, this room and the rest of the little museum that we have will be actually Transylvania County history. Unfortunately, history doesn't draw like the trees do. So the biggest mission that we have, being the trees, is to draw in as many people as we can. We have no admission charge, everything is donation. So we hope to support the museum throughout the year. So many people, like when you live anywhere, you don't always go to the local museum or attraction. And they're like, I just never knew this place was here. And we're like, well, we've been here and we're glad you showed up. So that's what we enjoy most, when they come here and they just love to walk through and see all of it. It's just bringing back those Christmas memories, and then for those folks who don't want to decorate, you can come here and enjoy it, and that's really our aim, is to make people have a pleasant and happy Christmas.
This layout features Western North Carolina in the 1960s, but it's a freelance railroad. In other words, we say, we're going to name this area Spencer. It's not exactly like the one that's in Spencer, but it represents the type of activity, railroad activity, that is in that town.
I do like how there's different types of them, like passenger and freight, and I like controlling them.
When I see a kid that I think would fit in, I try to encourage them and encourage their parents to have them join. This is HO gauge. HO gauge is the most popular size of model railroads. There are about 6 or 7 different sizes of model railroads. Within our club, we have guys that model at home in all the gauges except for Z. And our club is about 90% retirees, and most of them are like me. They got a toy train as a kid. And they just got hooked on the hobby, and they kept the hobby their whole life. That level of talent and interest is shown up in this club. And that's why the quality of this layout is so good, is that we seem to have an expert in every phase of what we do. With all the electronics on the layout, we have a couple guys who are very knowledgeable, as knowledgeable as the guys who manufacture this stuff. Scenery, we've have some very artistic people in our club who are able to do excellent scenery work. At this point, the crown jewel of structures on the layout is this sawmill that exists in Mortimer, North Carolina. This is an exact model of the real sawmill. 200 hours to build that structure. And every phase of what it takes to do a model railroad, we've got someone in the club who's super at it, and then they teach the rest of us.